A penetration test is a technical exercise aimed at finding weaknesses in a company's networks, applications or systems. This cybersecurity assurance is provided against an organization's assets. By identifying these security flaws, businesses can determine the extent to which their electronic assets are exploitable and can then take the necessary steps to reduce the risk. With many types of penetration testing such as white box penetration testing, black box and gray box, it isn't always easy for business owners to select the right one. These are defined on the level of prior knowledge and the level of access to the asset provided. Black box penetration testing. A black box pen test starts with no prior knowledge and zero access to the target. An example of a black box pen test includes a website security assessment with no information and user access. Advantages of black box testing. A. Simulates an attacker's perspective as closely as possible. B. Reproducible and efficient on larger systems where externally facing vulnerabilities could add to potentially big risks. Disadvantages of black box testing. A. Does not cover in-depth assessment as compared to white box tests. B. Performed against production environments in the case of an Active Directory, internal LAN, networks. Gray box testing. A gray box penetration test involves some level of knowledge and some access to the target. An example of such a test involves a website security assessment with low-level user access. Advantages of gray box testing. A. Utilized to test web applications and APIs where privileged user information is utilized to assess the applications. B. Greater knowledge and access to asset resources such as architecture, design, security controls documentation can help reduce the effort needed to uncover flaws. Disadvantages of gray box testing. Pen testers do not have access to source code and may miss critical vulnerabilities. White box penetration testing. A white box pen test grants the security consultant the highest level of knowledge and access to the target. An example of such a test involves website security testing where multiple user levels, including CMS admin and information such as security architecture, design document and/or source code access, is supplied to the security consultant. Advantages of white box testing. A. It is budget-friendly and the fastest exercise to find vulnerabilities. B. A helpful exercise to know the different paths a threat actor may take to compromise the assets in scope. C. Aimed at the most pressing security concerns directly relevant to the assets in scope. D. Involves coordination between development and white box pentesters that adds to the highest possible accuracy-based results. Disadvantages of white box testing. A. Makes assessments more difficult and limited in exploitation where the live impact is involved in the current state of systems in scope. B. Test cases are difficult to design due to environment-specific metrics at play, and finding vulnerabilities may take longer than other tests. Head to blog section for a more detailed read. Get in touch to discuss your primary security concerns. https://thecyphere.com/